Hey guys, week 8. So the ranges are all dried out, time to get back to normal stages. So a lot of running and gunning, a lot of fun. A lot more paper, so we're going out and pasting. We're just using a standard IPSC target, and you've got the shoot side, and you've got the no shoot side. And sometimes they'll just put these up weird or in between targets, just so you can see one target or the other. But any hit inside this outside perforation counts as a penalty. So we started out looking at a 3-target cluster right on top of it, 3 or 4 yards. Engage all those 2 rounds, turn almost 180, run across the range. You'll see the fault line to the right. We can't go over that. Then you run into 2 targets with a no shoot right in the corner. And then through the port, you have to engage 3 targets. And you move down a little bit. There's 2 targets and a no shoot. You move down a little more. There's 2 more targets and a no shoot. And then you've got a Texas Star and a spinner. The Texas Star, you've got 5 steel plates. They have to fall off. So I've seen people hit them before, just glance them. Sometimes they don't fall. You have to make them fall. The thing about when they fall, it's not weighted correctly, so it starts to spin. So now you have moving steel. The faster you shoot it, the less movement you get. And the spinner has to do 1 full revolution. So generally that takes a couple of hits. And then after you shoot the steel, you have to go through the low port in the barricade. You have 2 targets and a no shoot through there. So on the right side of the barricade is the rimfire steel for rimfire rifle and rimfire pistols, and the left side of the barricade is the centerfire steel for your centerfire handguns and pistol caliber carbines. So the way the paper's scored, last week with the qualification, he actually used the A zone, C zone, D zone, and the A and B zone. This week, it wasn't like that. It was 2 hits on the shoot side of the target anywhere. So you could just clip them in the shoulders or the groin. It didn't matter if you had 2 holes in the shoot side of the target, it counted. So that really sped things up because you weren't trying to get a nice group in the center. You're just like, okay, just get my 2 and move on. Could lead to some bad habits, but it was a real fast stage. The key in this stage was to stay back. After you shot the first 3 targets and you moved to the next set, you're going fast and you really want to get in that corner as close as you can. There's no reason to get up on it because you go in the corner and now you just went farther than you needed to and come back. Again with the port, some guys are getting up and getting their gun through and their hands through the port to shoot those targets. There's no reason to, because now you have to get back out of it and move. And even if you come in a little high, you'll have a good sight picture when the gun recoils up and back. You could damage your front sight, knock it off. So don't get sucked into the corners, don't get sucked into the ports, and reload every time you move. With the 1911, you pretty much need to. There's a couple of places you could get away from it if you didn't have to make up a shot. You could save some time. Pretty much anytime your feet are moving, you're putting a magazine in your gun. I bobbled 1 reload. I just didn't get it up and in while I was moving. But just worked through it. It worked out pretty good. Another interesting thing I did was when I came into the Texas Star with the rifle and the pistol, I pointed in at the bottom plate every time and realized, what am I doing? And corrected, went to the front. The reason why you don't want to start with the bottom, then you're leaving all the weight at the top, and it's going to want to start moving even faster. If you start at the top, it's going to want to correct a little bit to be balanced. But if you start at the bottom plates, it really wants to get going. But I had a good stage. The spinner went over real well. Sometimes the spinner is a real pain in the butt if you've ever shot it. Some days it wins, and it takes you a lot to get it to go. Also had a new camera. Micro brought a camera and a gimbal. That's that thing I'm holding in my hand. So we could get video while he's shooting and from outside the shooter's perspective. But I had a brain fart when I went through on his pistol run. I had his camera recording. My camera wasn't. When I went through on his rimfire rifle stage, I had my camera recording and his camera wasn't. So that's the thing I'm holding, and if you notice, it's not recording. So that's me, new cameras. I was worried about shooting, worried about shooting firearms, not shooting cameras. But so that's week 8. I think you'll like it.
Stand by. Hold up. 3653, unload. Stand by.
That is not easy transition.
3843. Stand by. $46.55. Unload shop.